Hey, this is Jonathan, and once again, back to the usual grind of slowly chipping away at things until eventually stuff happens. And last time I was looking at PrefabData. Today I'm going to be continuing to look at PrefabData, but this time I'm going to actually make an attempt at implementing, I guess, some PrefabData. So that'll be exciting, I guess. There were several examples that I was pointed to last time by the book that I didn't read multiple times mostly because I didn't have enough context for what I was reading, I guess. I don't know. When I read it, it didn't make any sense, but when I actually looked at the code, it started making more sense. So looking at the examples with the book seems to be the best way of actually getting anything out of it. So it looks like we're going to need to use this Surdy default stuff to create our PrefabData. Essentially, we want to copy what this is doing, sort of. Like, not exactly, but we're going to need to, like, figure out how to properly deserialize our flags and stuff. And that should be pretty easy, because if my prefabs are literally just going to have a flag that says, is, true or whatever, then it won't be very hard to, just deserialize a Boolean value. It's not as complex as the transform or any of this other stuff. Although even the transform, I thought was, it was more complicated than it might seem to deserialize that. So this could be a bit of a thing. But what I'm hoping for is maybe I could have this struct somewhere in its own, I guess, module. So play is going to be put into its own module now, I think. I feel like that's the right choice to make at this point. Make a package, we'll call it play. Same thing as what we did with custom game, we're going to put play in there. That's probably going to change a lot of things. That's what I think is going to happen. Like, all these supers are going to have to be like another level up now. Same with this one. I really need to figure out if there's a nicer syntax than doing this everywhere. Because this is how I like to try and organize things, but I'm not sure if this is the right way to organize things. Yeah, to me, this kind of tree structure makes sense, right? Like, you have your states, and then each state would have its own subfolder, and in that folder would be everything related to that state. Like, I don't know. Makes sense to me. But yeah, it does make this look really ugly with all these supers everywhere. Maybe I'm trying to reach too high up into things. That might be the problem. Maybe this shouldn't be sitting wherever it is. But then again, I don't know where else it would go. Because this is sitting in game data, and game data needs to be accessible by like everything, right? So to me, it makes sense for it to be at that level. Anyway, I'm just gonna carefully ignore that. Carefully? No, not even carefully. We're just gonna ignore that for now. And what I want to do is create my own .ron file assets thing for this kind of entity that I want to create here. So I guess under play we're going to have a mod.rs, of course. Seems like the right thing to do. I haven't pushed to the repository in a little while, and I am starting to think maybe I should do that soon. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Definitely getting that feeling that I should try and do that. The other module I wanted to make was something called, I don't know, prefabs? This might be a weird way of organizing all this stuff, but Seems like it makes sense, right? Like all the prefabs, well, or at least the prefab data will go in here. So this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna have to derive default. What's the default implementation for default? I guess that would be none for options, right? Yeah, I remember that. So by default, these will all be nuns, not the kinds that go to church. And we're gonna derive deserialize and serialize. So these are from SERDI for sure. I don't know why it has to do this. And also prefab data, which comes from somewhere. Is it core? No, it's not from core. Prefab data comes from assets. Okay, well that makes sense, I guess. Alright, so use Amethyst assets. It was Amethyst assets, right? Yeah, Amethyst assets, prefab data. And the other thing I wanted to get was, I guess, all this SERDI stuff. Now I remembered somewhere that macro use is going to be deprecated. I don't remember exactly why. I think they were... I don't know. I don't actually remember now. No, I don't remember what the solution was. They came up with some kind of like solution for this that didn't involve tagging crates as macro use. But I don't really remember why. Because I don't really see a problem with that. There was some justification somewhere though. I don't remember if I necessarily agreed with it, but that's the way it is. Now, SERDI in this case is not part of Amethyst. This is not a re-export. So we're actually going to need the SERDI. We're going to need the actual SERDI dependency at whatever version that they're currently using, which would be... What version are you using? So I know SERDI is at 1.0. Is it SERDI or SERDI? I mean, it's serialized. Well, yeah, it's serialized, deserialized, right? So SERDI seems like it would make more sense, kind of like how regex is, you know, regular expression, and yet lots of people call it regex, including myself sometimes, because I've had people just be like, no, it's regex, and I'm like, no, it's not. But then I don't know, they got it stuck in my head. Darn those incorrect people. Where are you? There's a lot of mention of SERDI, but where is SERDI itself? It's not this. Okay, I'm being silly. Of course it wouldn't be in the list of examples. That doesn't make sense. Is it not a dev dependency? No. Okay. Oh, here it is. It's just 1.0. And SERDI derive as well. I probably want both of those, so let's just do that. Yeah. I'm scared of not including that last decimal point thing in the semantic versioning number, because, I mean, ideally they wouldn't make like breaking changes if they're doing these little point releases, but you never know. You never can tell. You know, it's kind of surprising. There's like a number of 1.0 crates in here now. Like there's these two, and then there's this one, Rayon, of course, and Derivative. That one's also 1.0 now. It's very surprising, honestly. What are you complaining about? Oh, it's updating cargo. Well, too bad, because I'm going to be doing it again. Oops, not deriv, it's derive. Like here they have a specific version for Rayon. I guess the documentation for the crate is supposed to, you know, indicate that, yeah, you should use the point value, or whatever. The extra point notation thing. I don't know what to call it. You need to have 3 digits instead of Well, actually, that's not true because you also have like a 0.10, so it's not digits. It's separator number things. I'm good at this. Yes, update cargo. Please do. I'm gonna have to do another cargo update. Although I hope that I was doing it automatically there. And they could install this plugin, but I don't really care. It works. It certainly does. But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So, sorry, just blanked. Completely blanked out there. Forgot what I was doing. I want this. I'm actually not sure if I need the derive then. Since they only use 30 here. So I might not need a derive. But I feel like you would if you wanted to do those, you know, the derives. Like, wouldn't that just make sense? So that might be unnecessary. If it is unnecessary, I can remove it later. For now, I'm just gonna roll with it. That's like that's the worst mentality ever to go with, and yet here I am doing exactly the worst thing ever. Like, I don't need this, but I still have it for some reason. Oh well, I'll clean it up eventually if it turns out to be unnecessary. I just don't want to go through the extra wait time of like removing it and then realizing that I needed it and then all the other stuff. Wait, is it deserialized with a Z or an S? Okay. They are using Z, not S. Here we go. Now we have to have this little attribute. Oops. 30 default, I believe. Okay, that's a keyword. Sure looks like one. Okay. And then we'll have a struct called, I don't know, location prefab data. It'll literally just be a bool. Yeah. Although, do I need to put an option? Because I don't know, like, what's the point of having it be an option bool? I feel like there isn't really much point. I don't know what the default is for bool, but to me it doesn't really make sense to have the option wrapper. Because I'm just gonna have false in the default case anyway. Like if it's if the location is filled, then it will be true. But or like if it's not filled, but if it's open. Is checked, I guess? I don't know. Was checked? I could go with the bool for now, but yeah, definitely not considering keeping that. Fine. Default trait Russ. Okay, the default value is false for bool. Good to know. Oh yeah, here's default values for like all the different types right here. This is exactly the right place to look for that kind of documentation, so I'm glad I came here. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Now that I have my prefab data, I need to, well, let's try and run. Let's just build, see if it still builds. I don't want to be chasing down a crap ton of errors later. Let's go through this iteratively. Let's be careful. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's going to be a bunch of these, so I need to be careful. There's no play in states. Play. Really? Because this is in where main menu. Play. Oh yeah, this, we're gonna have to go into play. I think. Yeah, and then play. That makes sense. Same here. Oh, that's unused, apparently. Oh, if that's unused, then I can safely delete that here, I'm pretty sure. Unused import, main menu. Where's this? Custom game? Huh. Oh, because I do a pop, right? That's, yeah, that's right. I don't need to refer to the main menu anymore if I'm doing a pop instead of a push. Whoa. How's that? Is that because of the imports? That might be why. That's weird. I think that was it. Yeah, that seems right. Huh. So I went through all that trouble of passing in a world, and here I don't even use it. Where did I use it anyway? Was I using it in... I think I was using it in another state, but I didn't need to, did I? I guess I could keep it for specific cases, but I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, this works. That's right, I believe I figured out, like, I could use on pause and on stop to do certain things instead of using the handle event, which, you know, I mean, it kind of makes sense if you really think about it. But you have to remember that the handle event happens before the on pause will, because it has to return this state transition before it can even determine whether or not the state should be paused. So there might be some ordering shenanigans there in the future if I'm not careful. So yeah, for now I'm just going to mark this as unused since it isn't being used. In fact, I don't even have to name it in that case. Same thing here. Oh yeah, that's definitely looking a lot less necessary now that I've seen this. I might actually remove that later if I don't find myself ever needing it for any reason ever. And I know that I can do it now if I absolutely have to. This one I'm undecided on. Actually, I probably will need world. I definitely will need world, so no, I don't care about that. Really? This isn't being used? Oh, is that because that's supposed to be in main? Huh, oh yeah. It is supposed to be here. I just completely forgot about it, though. Well... I guess I could add a couple more here. Because there should have been one for main menu. Right? Or am I wrong? I might be wrong. No, wait, that was for the UI event handler system. Oh. Oh. So that, yeah, that might also be unnecessary too in the future. Maybe. Not entirely sure. Can't jump to conclusions just yet, but maybe. Okay. So now in our prefabs.rs over here, I have a feeling I'm going to have multiple prefabs.rs files. There's probably going to be one for custom game as well at some point, but yeah, for now I'm going to stick to this. We have this was checked. Option bool. I'm pretty sure that Certi doesn't need anything special to deserialize a bool, so I think we're okay. So now I should just be able to define a .ron file and everything should be good. Well, at least I think so. I'm not really sure what the best way to how do I test this easily? That's another problem. Alright, so here's what they were doing. They load prefab/puffy scene.ron and they do this progress thing as usual. I'm wondering if I should just throw in my own like progress somewhere. Yeah, these option progress counter. Seems like the right way to handle things at this point. Although they do this unwrap, which makes me wonder, like, what's happening here? I guess when you call as mute, it gives you an option in case it's not able to be converted as to like a mutable. Huh, with dependencies, which... And those dependencies, are those other systems? It kind of looks like it. Animation control, transform system. Yeah, these are definitely systems. I think. Okay. That's for a with bundle, but still. It's kind of complex, actually. Yeah. But it seems to work. I mean, it doesn't seem like wrong or hard to understand so far. I mean, with the proper documentation, I'm sure this would be really easy to understand, but... Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to worry about animations at some point too. That'll be fun. That might be one of the earlier things I should be worried about. Usually when I make games, I kind of do everything and then I ignore animations until like the very end, and then I'm like, and then I go, oh, I gotta go and actually handle animations properly. I'm not sure if that's actually the best approach, but that's what I've traditionally done with things like Game Maker. But yeah, it's one of those things where like I want to put it off until later because it's not something that I really want to deal with or play with early on. Okay, so we do need to do world.exec and then all this stuff. I'm really worried that I'm not going to be able to do this correctly, but as far as I know, all you need is the scene prefab data, I guess deserialization definitions for all these types here, which for bool it should be trivial and it should already be implemented, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. There's also actually this world exec, and then I need the actual RON file. So I think my bases are pretty much covered at this point. That's what I'm gonna go with. This location.ron. Alright, and so now we look at the RON files to try and figure out how to RON it up. Well, I have one of the RON files right here. So we have to enable implicit sum, it seems. That's in all of these. Yep. It's in this one as well. So they have this like container, and for some reason they have like transformed background children at the top level here. But that's not the way that they define the custom prefab data. Like the puffy scene one didn't look like this, so it's kind of interesting. I don't really know if I can copy this format for mine. For my location.ron. I know I need that though, so I'm going to keep that. And then we're going to go look at the assets. Which are, yeah, right here. Yeah, prefab. There we go. Prefab. Entities. And then a list of, I guess, base entities, I think. Huh. Yeah, okay. Let's try it. How come this one's called data and this one's called parent and there's... Huh. Oh wait, no, parent must be a... Ah, okay, that must be some kind of like intrinsic property of prefabs. Okay. Or like entities, because they can have... an entity can have a parent entity. That is true. So this must be how you specify the parent entity. I don't know what 1 means for the parent though, or 2. So that's kind of worrying, because it's not particularly clear. Does that mean entity 1 is the parent? How do you know the ID of the entity that is the parent? Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe they'll change that in the future though. I'm not sure. There's a lot that can change when it comes to Amethyst. Because Amethyst does what Amethyst wants. They're like an organization now, so... It's really crazy to see how much they've grown, honestly. Like, I didn't think that Amethyst would like take off the way that it did. Like, compared to a lot of other projects that you see, like, that are floating around in the Rust community, this one, yeah, it really surprised me. But, I mean... Rust kind of does target that area, you know, the high performance programs where, you know, where people would normally do like memory management and play with like pointers and all that stuff. Like Rust isn't garbage collected, so it does kind of target that demographic, although I guess some people would argue that it's not the proper language to use for game development. I mean, I kind of can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, I mean, we gotta try, right? It don't hurt to try. You can be a negative Nancy all you like, but we gotta try things, okay? If they don't work out, they don't work out. It's not like you wasted your time. So I feel like people shouldn't just like rain on other people's parade for things like that. I mean, people have to try things out, and if it happens to work out well, then you know what? Then it's great, you know? Then we see improvements being made. But just like poo-pooing an idea before anyone ever tries it, like, you're not really like contributing to society. That's how I chose to phrase that. Do I like insulting people? I mean, maybe. If they deserve it. Actually, why am I even throwing in all these commas? There's no point in having commas, because I'm probably not going to be, you know, having more entities in this list. So these light. If I look at the example here, not here, here. Yeah, they use those names, so I should be able to just use the same name as my struct field, which was, where was it? It was checked. And I'll set it to true, because I don't think it's going to matter. Yeah, they do that here. Load animations is true. So this should work the same way. And now, in theory, I should be able to just load the prefabs right here with the whole world.exec. Exec, maybe execute. Exec. I don't know, exec rolls off the tongue a lot nicer though. You know, like an executive. Even though that's most likely not the word that they're going for here. I'm almost certain that this means execute. But, you know, I could be wrong. It's not entirely impossible. I wouldn't rule it out. Alright, so we need a prefab loader, and we need... Wait, scene? Oh yeah, we need some kind of resource, that's right, to set the handle of... Or do we? Because thinking about it, couldn't I just have some variable, and then, well, but that's only on start. Oh, this is difficult. Why do they do this if not self.initialized? I guess that makes sense if you come back to the scene. Yeah, and you don't run on start again. Wait, no, if you come back to the scene, then... Yeah, then you won't call this initialization stuff again, so you... I feel like this is kind of weird and redundant. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. Like, why wouldn't you just create the entity up here and then do whatever? Yeah, I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because once you've created the entity, it's still floating around. It's still present. It's not like it disappeared. You have to do it in the update. I mean, I guess this works, though. It's probably usable enough as it is. It was mentioned to me that it actually might be interesting to watch me do stuff in GameMaker, and I haven't touched GameMaker in a while, but I feel like GameMaker, well, actually, I don't know what GameMaker Studio 2 is like. I heard that it's pretty good. Well, at least a lot of people seem to like it. But I remember back in the day, GameMaker was really limiting, and Yeah, but when people made stuff in GameMaker, it was kind of, I don't know, it didn't have as good of a reputation. I wonder what kind of reputation Amethyst will develop in its early stages here. Like after it launches as a 1.0. Because I'm sure people will be trying to use it for things. By things, I mean games, of course. Yeah, I get the feeling I don't actually need to have this closure with 2 things in it. I could probably give it a closure that only takes 1 argument. I don't know. Yeah, that's hard. It's hard to say because I don't know how this is implemented. Oh, man. In that case, I don't even need this. It could just be that, which is of type prefab loader. Right? And it takes my... oh gosh, where is it? Maybe I have subdivided everything up a little bit too much. I don't know. I'm getting that feeling that maybe I've done it a little. I've gone a little too far with that. It's having to constantly like jump around to try and find the objects I need, or the whatever structs. It's kind of annoying. Especially when you don't remember where you're gonna look. Is that correct? Or... oh, I forgot pubmod prefabs, that's why. Right then. There we go, prefabs, and it's gonna be... what? Oh, because it's not public. Man. Stop being like that. No, pub struct location prefab data. That should be adequate, I think. I hope. What's in here? Yeah, there we go. Since that's the only prefab in there, it's fine to just leave that import as it is. Location prefab data. Alright. So now we got our location prefab data. We're gonna add a scene handle or whatever. Some kind of handle. Equals... yeah, so it's an option of a handle. What is the type of this handle? I guess I could try doing the loader.load and see what happens. Yeah, certainly could. Is it supposed to return a value or no? No, this is just a... this closure returns unit. So, okay. Yes, I can just do that. What's it complaining about? Unexpected. Why? Oh, probably because of this. Loader.load, it takes a bunch of arguments. Ooh. That looks in prefab / puffy scene.ron. How do I load the other ones? Oh, where do I look? Where do I look? Here. I don't need anything else. Yeah, I can just use main menu.ron, I think. I think I don't need anything special. Where are you? Where'd you go? Play. Also, no UI. Don't know what I'm thinking right now, but should really just do this. So load, give it that, give it RON format. Oh, oops. Second argument, RON format, which I have to find from someplace. Where does RON format come from? Probably assets or something? Yeah. Amethyst assets. Oh, wow. Surprisingly small list of Amethyst imports here, although we're getting everything from Prelude, so maybe not. What's the next argument? The next argument is... Where are you? Where did you go? Unit, for some reason. Unit, and the last one can also be unit. I don't know. Okay, it's okay with that for now. What did this do? Yeah, this has a return value. So wrap in sum. And then, yeah, we just set that. So what is it complaining about? Maybe I can get rid of these. Well, I think I need one for that at least. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if that works. Or if it doesn't compile. It might not compile. Wait, what? Cannot derive macro prefab data in this scope? Huh? Oh dear. What? I guess because now I'm using it, it's complaining? Okay. In that case, maybe I need to use a macro use here. Maybe I'm not on the version of the compiler that is okay without macro use. Maybe that hasn't stabilized. Ah, shoot. Uh-oh. Raro, how do you use prefab data? I guess I have to macro use Amethyst as well then, right? That's all I can think of. So yeah, macro use is very much still a thing in this version of Rust that I'm on. Or not, I honestly don't know anymore. What? Okay, now I'm getting really confused. Okay, something's wrong. Something is wrong. Don't do that. Prefab data is right here, though. Oh boy. Yep. Yep. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm reading about this. Huh. Oh, huh, okay, I get it. Fascinating. So simple text substitution in this case is actually, yeah, actually has some problems there. It's kind of interesting. Ah, because this has to be marked as an expression. So it has to evaluate first. This is kind of an interesting little section explaining yeah, the differences between like C macros and Rust macros. That's kind of cool. I still find macros kind of annoying to use in Rust, though, for the reason that once you start putting stuff in macros, then you kind of have to put a whole bunch of other stuff into macros, and yeah, it can lead to some interesting looking code, depending on how you're trying to do things, anyway. Okay, but where's macro use? Okay. Oh wow, that's complicated actually. I think I can understand why they're gonna get rid of macro use now. Oh boy. Wait, so if I macro use the entire crate, that doesn't work? Is that what you're telling me? Oh boy. Uh-huh. Oy. If a module has the macro use attribute, its macros are also visible in its parent module after the child's mod item. Huh, okay. Ooh. The parent also has macro use, and the macros will be visible in the grandparent. And so forth, right. Okay. It controls which macros are loaded from the external crate. Yeah. Load all macros is just macro use. Alright, sure. So I feel like I haven't done anything wrong. I macro used that crate, and for some reason it still doesn't see prefab data, so what the heck? But macro using SERDI fixed SERDI. Oh, interesting. Yeah, the SERDI error is gone now. So that did have an effect. Yeah, it sure did. Amethyst assets prefab loader. Oh, darn it. I do need more here, of course. Isn't that always the case? Oops, don't want to do that. Alright, we're good. Hello? Okay. So now there should only be one error, and that will be the macro here. What am I missing? What do I need to do to make that visible? You. Not you. You? Yes, you. Because it wants a derive macro, but doesn't know where to find it. Do I need the prelude? Let's take the Amethyst prelude and see if that fixes this. Because I don't have any other ideas at this point. Yeah, I don't think it would be related to the renderer. Because it's not. This doesn't have anything to do with rendering necessarily. So okay, let's just do this. Do the prelude. And this is the problem with star imports. You just don't know. You never know. It's one feature that Rust probably could have done without. Although I guess some people would be really annoyed having to write out every single thing they're importing. But I mean, come on. You shouldn't have to import that much stuff, right? Right? Still can't? Oh no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. How recently was that changed? 28 days ago? Like, make relevant prefab data impulse use the derive. Add derive macro for prefab data. October 9th. Alright, we're gonna do a bit of history digging. 12 releases? Yeah. October 22nd. Okay, so it should be part of this. I did switch to 0.9. Right? Yeah, I did. Okay, so this should be part of it. Oh boy. I do want to check this though, because I don't know what's going on. Oh, he added a to-do here, huh? Require generic support and derive macro. So maybe this just missed the cutoff for that. No, but they do the derive here. Prefab data. Okay. It's not working the way I thought. Where's that to-do? That's in scene.rs. No, that's not even the same file. Yeah, I only care about Puffy. This is the one, right? Main. Yeah, this is the GLTF main one. Okay, sure. But prefab data wasn't part of this. Okay, yeah, this is confusing. So they did add the derive earlier for prefab data before Amethyst 0.9. Do they do like some kind of stabilization system where if it's not stabilized enough yet, they don't, do anything? Wow, 2,000 stars now. Holy cow! This project like kind of took off into like the stratosphere. I literally did not expect to see that many stars on this. This is why I gave up trying to make my own game engine ages ago, because yeah. You don't compete with a force of nature like this. Prefab error? Do I need that? I don't know. It's not really clear. It's not really using prefab error anywhere here as far as I can see. Is there like another macro use I have to do somehow or somewhere? Or, I don't know. I don't understand. I literally can't figure out what's going on here. This already has a macro use on it. Amethyst has a macro use on it. So this macro, this derive macro should be found, should be visible, but it just ain't. Don't work. Because if I got rid of this, it'll definitely cause problems again for the deserialize and serialize and all that stuff, right? Like we're gonna see a whole bunch of other errors. Yeah, something's wrong. So even though I've macro used Amethyst, it doesn't want to work. Maybe it's because I'm missing all this stuff? Prefab error, prefab loader system. I don't know. I can't figure this out. I don't know. Yeah, no, I just don't. I don't have anything. I've got nothing. Doesn't help that I'm putting stuff in the wrong place. Ugh. Of course. Here you are. Found you. And prefab loader, just in case. I don't know. Like, maybe that's why? And the error message doesn't tell me what things are missing specifically? No. It doesn't care. That's all I've got. Dude, how can you not find the derive macro in this scope? Oh dear. Cannot find derive macro in this scope. Oh, you have to actually explicitly import that. Except, didn't I just do that? I have PrefabData. I am importing it. It's right here. Is there a chance that there's no such derive macro as PrefabData on this version of Amethyst? Because I would be willing to believe that, maybe. Alright, we need to we definitely have to look now. There's nothing else for it. I'm probably also gonna stop soonish. Well, once I figure this out, I hope. I hope I can figure this out. Okay, there is no macro use here, so I guess it just barely didn't make the cut. Nope, it did not make the cut. Dang it! That would have made life, like, so much easier, but now I have to actually do this impl. Okay, well, that mystery has been solved. Yeah, okay. It just didn't make it in. And that's quite unfortunate. I was wondering, like, I shouldn't have to macro use here. It doesn't make sense. Well, turns out it didn't really matter. Okay. Dang it, dang it, dang it. So, looks like this is gonna have to require, yeah, implementing PrefabData here. That sucks. That sucks, but it also means I'm looking forward to the next release of Amethyst, because then I can get rid of this impl. To do, remove this when derive macro lands in next version of Amethyst. Why do I need a lifetime? Oh, just for the PrefabData itself. Oh, of course. And that hasn't, yeah, I had to declare the lifetime there. Okay, okay. This is what I mean by Amethyst changing so much. Like, you constantly have to be sure that you're using things that are not outdated. Or, well, you know, or that you're using stuff that's too new and isn't in the current stable release that you're on. I mean, I could technically just switch to the GitHub, like latest GitHub develop branch, but I kind of don't really want to do that because who knows what might happen, right? Like, I might finish everything before there's another release, or like long before there's another release. Or there might never be another release. I mean, that's pretty pessimistic, but, you know, still. Like, something might happen, and there's never another release for Amethyst. So, yeah. I guess we just have to do this. Ugh, ugh. Now that I'm looking at it and knowing that I don't have to do this in the future, I'm just kind of like, I just look at this and don't really want to do it. I don't even want to touch this. It looks so ugly. It's just so much boilerplate. Yeah. Well, no point in just sitting and staring at it. We're gonna have to do it. Already I feel like the game development facilities for Rust have surpassed those that were made for Scala. At least from what I remember. Last time I looked at the game dev ecosystem for Scala, there wasn't too much game development happening there, and it's kind of understandable considering what kind of language you're dealing with there. And if I want to make video games, I'm going to use a language that actually kind of lends itself more towards it and has proper, you know, libraries. for building games like this. So I gotta do this option, I guess, bool as prefab data. Okay. Yeah, this is ugly. Oops. And oh yeah, you also have to use a lifetime here. Wow. Yeah, I know I'm not done implementing everything. Just you wait. So it seems like we have to make multiple type aliases here. Interesting. Are those type aliases? Or are these like associated types? That could be. These could just actually be associated types. I'm not sure I remember the exact syntax. Yeah, we definitely need to do this add to entity stuff. I don't think I need to do load sub-assets now that I think about it, because yeah, it's not saying anything about add to or load assets. I think I just need to do add to entity. So we might be able to get away with something a little bit simpler. You know what I feel like having right now? Tea. It's a weird feeling to have, but I kind of just want to drink tea. I guess that's not really weird. But considering that I mostly just drink water, not tea, it is kind of weird to me. Also, it'd probably keep me up at night. Actually, it's not be a good thing, since I kind of want to be able to get up to go to work. Mutable reference to, what is it? Self system data. Entities. Immutable, we'll have a slice of entities. This will return what? Error? I hope that's like a standard error or something. I don't know what error is. Oh well, like there we go. It's complaining about error, of course. Why wouldn't it? It's probably Amethyst ECS error. Yeah, that must be it. There. Happy now? Hello? IntelliJ, you're so slow. Are you okay, IntelliJ? No? Yes? No? No? Yes? No? Yes? Yes? No? 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 What do you mean? Unresolved reference error. I have an import right here. Okay, well, it's complaining about that still. That sucks. So return the OK at the end. Need to double that up. And then do self dot. Wait, what? Self dot transform. Oh, because I'm implementing. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I almost forgot that. Yeah, this is an impl block. Yeah. Wow. Oh, and I still need to do this. Yeah, there's that ref keyword that they're trying to get rid of. Actually, I think they did successfully get rid of the ref keyword, but it hasn't stabilized yet. So that's cool. I'm gonna sneeze. Alright. See, jumping back and forth like this is just silly. I should just use a separate monitor or something. But I wanna show everything that I'm looking at. Otherwise, I'm just hiding away information, and that's, well, I mean, I guess there's some parts I might want to hide away. So my desk isn't big enough to have another monitor on it, honestly. So yeah, that wouldn't really work. But if I had a bigger space for recording and I had like a larger table or something, like a real table that could support multiple monitors, I would totally do that. But I don't, so I can't. That's just how it is. That's equal to system data. Oh boy, yeah, I need a semicolon there. Almost certainly. Self.was checked. Dot add to entity. Entity transforms entities. Okay. There we go. That'll work. I think if it would just freaking recognize this. I can't get this to compile. Even though I'm pretty sure that I have this ECS error here. What? There's no error in ECS. Oh. Oh. I see. ECS error. Duh. Okay. I thought I was worried that this is another case of. Well, actually, no, that doesn't make sense. I'm looking right at the correct version now, so. What are you complaining about? You don't find entity in the scope? Oh. Poo. That's right, I need to get entity from. Is entity part of Prelude? I thought entity would be part of ECS. Oh no, it is. It's part of ECS Prelude. Of course. Of course we would have to do this. Are we good now? No? We're still not good? I've got a comma. Of course. What? Parentheses and patterns are unstable. Are you kidding? This is an unstable feature? Whoa, wait a minute, that's not true. I've done this before with tuples, I swear. That's unstable? Since when? Okay, surprise, it's unstable. Well, I only have one field anyway, so... Joke's on you. I can just do this. Actually, I don't even know if I need to use the ref keyword here. In that case, I might be able to just get away with defining this as a mutable reference and not even caring. Yeah, oh no. Okay, that's not good. Oh, poo. Really? Retrieve on... Oh. 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 Huh. I see. What? Does that mean that they implemented... Oh, they must have. They must have done that. Well, shoot. Okay. I'm not really sure how to make this work. This is kind of annoying, actually. I wish that the derive macros were here already, but I can't use them. So I'm gonna have to figure this out, and I'm not gonna figure it out today. I'm gonna try and figure it out tomorrow.